All right, guys, another PSA grade reveal video for you all. You know how I do it. I've got 50 cards. This is going to be 50 low-end, 50 Michael Jordans. So all Michael Jordan. I say low-end. There's a couple of meaningful cards in here. There is a Class Axe Atomic Refractor in here that PSA refused to grade last time I ran it up the flagpole. Good news, it got a grade this time. There is a High Risers, which PSA has refused to grade 2 times that I have good news for you. They graded this time. So I consider those 2 wins just because PSA put a number on them this time. But 50 Jordans, those are probably the 2 biggest. So it's mostly low-end stuff where you almost have to get a PSA 10. You know how I do it. You're going to see all 50 cards. Then we're going to come back to me here. We're going to pull up the spreadsheet, and I'm going to share with you guys how many cards graded 10s, 9s, 8s, below, how many didn't get graded at all. There's always a couple that PSA just won't grade for one reason or another, min size, or just don't grade, or whatever the case may be. We'll look at the percentage results. We'll look at the value of all 50 cards. We'll add up the value. We'll look at which cards I'm going to keep, which cards I'm going to sell, and which cards maybe need to be cracked and resubbed to either PSA again or to BGS. So enjoy the 50 cards. Come back to me at the end of the video, and we'll go from there. Again, I should let you guys know, I shipped this thing on February 20th. It came back on March 26th. That has sort of been par for the course recently. Most PSA orders are coming back in 30 to 40 days. Most of my 50 card bulk value orders, these are all $19 per card, $18.99 per card. All of these orders end up being right at 1,000 bucks, all in, out the door. So kind of keep that in mind that, you know, I didn't attribute a lot of value to these particular cards when I bought this cross-country collection. So the entry point on the cards is really cheap. The grading cost is, you know, every time I do one of these 50 card orders, it's $1,000 out of pocket. And so that's sort of your kind of your baseline to measure whether or not it made any sense and whether or not it was a successful order of 50 cards. Check out the grade reveal and then come back to me. We'll do the math nerd stuff at the end. PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code CAJUN, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. All right, I got the glasses. I'm back. Sorry about that. So this one I was worried about. No holder, no charge, no information, just straight up, we don't grade it. And so I was kind of worried about that one. I don't think there's very many of these out here. I don't know much about it. It's some sort of SP 25th anniversary thingy. I don't know anything about this card. Maybe BGS will grade it, so we're going to put it up here to the side. That one's not graded. And then one more that wasn't graded, and this was men's size, and it's just a little chintzy little Upper Deck Encore. I won't go into details. Not numbered or anything, just a little Upper Deck Encore. So we'll put that up there as well. And then let's get going with the stuff that matters. So I'm gonna just pull a stack back here. Okay, here we go. So card number 1. I sent a few of these, if I recall. These are the 1998 SP Authentic Michaels. I had never seen these cards. They looked really, really clean and really sturdy, and the surface was kind of glossy and there was no sticking. And so this is it's a Jordan only set. This is M15, comes back a 10. Sorry, let's put these over here because I need to talk about those separate. Another one came back a 9. This is card number M7. Another M2 came back a 10. A cover story, thought this one had a chance, came back a 9. The 10s actually have pretty good value, as you'll see. If you watch till the end of the video, we'll go back to the spreadsheet and we'll look at the value of almost every one of these cards. Well, almost all of them that matter. Those are one of the cover story cards. 1995 Collector's Choice, just a base card, came back a 9. This one's got the little goofy little professor cartoon guy down there dunking. I don't know what the whole story is with this, but came back a 9, so there's nothing there. Came back a 9 again. Collector's Choice, some cheap stuff in here. Collector's Choice again, 9. A lot of 9s. couple 10s, another 10. This is a collector's choice card number 324. Little scouting report subset card, as you can see down there. Number 324 comes back a 10. That's good. Still not crazy value, probably a 2-figure card. And then I guess this is another one. So I sent 2 of these. One came a 9, one came back a 10. They both look the same to me. This is Jordan posing in his Birmingham Barons uniform for a photographer. Came back a 9. Team MVPs came back an 8 with MJ slicing through the lane. It looks like Xavier McDaniel, Gerald Wilkins, and Patrick Ewing in black and white, and then Jordan in the foreground in the color. This is a PSA 8 copy right there. I have that one in a 10. It's a pretty good looking card. High Risers finally got graded. So if you guys have been watching the grade reveals and the digging for golds and following along with the cross country collection, this little bastard, excuse my language, has come back men's size twice. And finally, I got a grade on it, and it came back a PSA 8. So decent value there. Chipping on the back is usually the problem, but on this one, I don't know if you guys can tell, the top left corner looks to be a little bent. And I'm not a Kurt's Card Care guy. I don't know how to fix stuff like that. So 8 on that card. That'll actually still sell okay. The Point Man, I thought this had a chance at a 10, but it came back a 9. That's the Skybox Premium subset, Point Man subset. Came back a 9. And then this got just murdered. I don't really, I mean, I know what a 4 looks like. A 4 means there's like a pinhole in it or somebody colored it or something. I don't know. I mean, I knew looking at the card it wasn't a 10, but I don't understand what in the hell happened here. It's got to be a surface issue. It's clearly not. Oh, there's a big crease down here. That must be what it is. Okay, there's your big crease. Can y'all see it? Right left of the glare, right there, right underneath that copper foil deal, there's a kind of a crease in the card. So I missed it. But this one's actually, it's a SPX Finite. You know, it's PSA 4, but it is serial numbered to, where am I? There we go, 5400. So kind of a neat looking little card, the SPX Finite. It's a bunch of different variations. I don't know anything about those things. Another one, this one came back a 9. It's a pretty good grade on this one. I think this is numbered the same. No, this is numbered to only 10,000. Yikes. So 9 there. Not a lot of value on that one. The 92 Upper Deck, just the base card from 92 Upper Deck, came back a PSA 9. Great image of MJ in the almost all blacks. I guess those are the infrareds. I can't see my glasses. Even with my glasses, I still can't see. Showstoppers, another one. You saw I got a 9, I think, on another recent. I knew this one wasn't perfectly centered, but I tried anyway. It came back an 8. PSA 10 is a pop. I think that's the one that's like a pop 2 or something stupid. 96 Bowman's Best, the base card, came back an 8. This is card number 80, came back a 10. So really good grade there. Really excited about that one. Good PSA 10 there. Got a couple 10s working over there. I like this card. It's a subset card, but it kind of looks like it would be an insert, but maybe not. I don't know. Upper Deck number 139, Jams 97 down there in the bottom right. Jordan going up for a 2-hand yammer. Batumbo looking in the background. PSA 9. You can see the stack of 9s is almost equal to all the rest of them combined. Still pretty good 10s. Area 23, number A9, came back a 9. These all had moisture. When these were all in like penny sleeves and top loaders, I had to literally take scissors and cut the cards out of the penny sleeves because these, for whatever reason, the texture, the surface, something about the chemicals used on these Area 23s, they were all wet. Every single one of them was touching. So what I did is I had to cut them out of the old penny sleeves, and then I let them sit overnight. They just sat there on my little workbench desk thing over here in my office, and they dried off, and then I just took my microfiber, went across the surface front and back, because the back's actually glossy too, and I guess they dried up, and PSA liked them enough to give me 2 9s on those 2. There's a bunch of these Area 23s. Here's another one, 9. Here is another one, 9. And now we are back to, here's another one of those Jams 97, another 9. I just need the 10. So 9s like crazy. Like Like this card a lot. Was really hoping to get a 10 on this one. Jordan's wearing those Concord 11s in this one, and he's getting the best of almost the entire 76ers team. Number 35, I know, is Clarence Weatherspoon. I can't really tell who's number 9 on the 76ers. I don't recognize that number as anybody relevant. But that's just Stadium Club number 101, 96 Stadium Club. And then these are tough, man. Go look at the pop count on PSA 10s and go look at the value of a 1992 Fleer All-Star PSA 10. This one comes back an 8. A little off center, obviously, but corners and edges did look really good to me. And I graded 2 of them, and the other one came back an 8. This one, the centering looked better, but the top to bottom, or left to right if you hold it this way, but top to bottom this way was off, but left to right looked good. So I just couldn't split the difference. A couple of these, this is actually the gold script. So this is serial numbered to only 100, and you can see gold script. Serial number 93 out of 100, came back a 7. Kind of a crappy grade, and I'm not sure it's really justified. It's a pretty damn sharp card. Anyway, came back a 7. What do we got here? The 96 Finest Sterling number 50. I sent 3 of these. So the first one, and all of these had coating. I peeled the coating off, submitted it. The surfaces looked amazing underneath the coating. And you guys know I am team peel it off. And so I peeled it off and got a 9 on that one. I peeled it off and got a 10 on this one. So happy about that. And I can't stress, the surface on these things glisten when you pull the peel off, the coating off, and another 9. So 9, 9, 10. Not too bad on those. 97 Collector's Choice number 23. The base card came back a 9. Look at the stack of 9s building up over here, guys. A lot of 9s. 92 Upper Deck. This is a checklist. I think this is at the parade where everybody was, after they won the championship. It's number TM1, and it's a checklist card, so you can see the team MVPs. Shows you the MVPs of each team. Let's read it. Let's read this. Well, I can't see it if I do that. Let me read it. Hawks Dominique. Celtics Reggie Lewis, gone too soon. Rest in peace. Charlotte Hornets Kendall Gill. Michael Jordan for the Bulls. Brad Daugherty for the Cavs. I would say Mark Price is in the conversation. Derek Harper for the Mavericks. Dikembe Mutombo for the Nuggets. Zeke for Pistons. Mullen for the Warriors. That was tough. Olajuwon for the Rockets. Reggie Miller for Pacers. Ron Harper for the Clippers. People forget about Ron Harper as a Cleveland Cavalier and a Clipper. James Worthy for the Lakers because this was 92, so... Ronnie Cycli for the Heat, Alvin Robertson, Pooh Richardson for the Timberwolves. That just lets you know how bad the Timberwolves were in that era. Derek Coleman for the Nets, Ewing for the Knicks, Skiles for the Magic, Hersey Hawkins for the Sixers, Kevin Johnson for the Suns. Hell yes, one of my favorite players from the late 80s and early 90s. Clyde Drexler for the Trailblazers, Mitch Richmond for the Kings. So that must have been before Run TMC joined up. David Robinson for the Spurs. Ricky Pierce for the Supersonics. Ricky Pierce for the Supersonics in 1992? Why would that not be Gary Payton or Sean Kemp? Ricky Pierce, I don't know about that one. And then they chose Stockton for the the Jazz over Karl Malone. Interesting. And then Purvis Ellison, never nervous Purvis, for the Washington Bullets. So interesting team MVP checklist right there. Got a 10 on that. Nice. Jordan in a t-shirt. These are tough. These are really tough, and the further into the decade you get, the fewer Stadium Club cards they printed. But this is card number 1 from 95 Stadium Club. Great image of MJ going in for a dunk. And I don't necessarily love this font, to be quite honest with you. I just think it's kind of childish. But I don't know how a font can be childish, but that's just the vibe I get. PSA 9. Got a 10 on this Collector's Choice. This is just a regular old base, number 23. Not a coincidence that that's his card number. 96 Collector's Choice 23 gets a 10. And that's not perfect centering left to right. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's hard to tell, in a picture, but I'm staring at it. It's not great. And then Steals Leaders. Steals Leaders. 1995 Topps Jordan. Steals Leaders. I think there's a scoring leaders, steals leaders, or points leaders, scoring leaders, whatever, steals leaders, and then there's card number 277. And they got power boosters for each of these. But this one came back a PSA 10, so awesome there. I think I sent 2 of these. This one came back a 9. And then this bad boy, an atomic refractor that I snuck in there, came back an 8, which I'm great with. I love it. Again, it's going to look green because they all do. All of the Class X refractors and atomics look like they have a green tint to it. They just do. And I'm trying to swivel it so you guys can see that kind of that laser beam grid pattern. Look at that over his over Jordan's left shoulder, the right side of the card, just that kind of quadratic laser beam pattern in the background is just so cool. What a cool card that is. I'm lucky to have that in a higher grade already, I think. I'm not sure. I got to check on that. Jordan, Kukoc, Pippen, Rodman. Bulls, game night, came back a 9. Another collector's choice, number 23 from 97. This one came back an 8. Another 97 collector's choice. This one came back a 10. So a 10 and an 8. I'll take that split. I would much rather a 10 and an 8 than a 9 and a 9. We've talked about that. 93 Hoops, number 28. Only sent it because I thought I had a chance at a 10. It did not 10. It got a 9. There's a 5th anniversary version of that. How about this? OC. This came back OC. I guess it's OC top to bottom, I'm assuming. 1991 Fleer, number 29, came back a 9 OC, which means worthless. And then I was shocked. This looked okay to me, and there's huge value for this in a PSA 10, and even a PSA 9 makes sense. But this is the red jersey, Stickums from 1997, number S30. And for whatever reason, these things don't grade well, man. Any stickers just get brutalized. Oh, there you go. I see it. There's an indentation in the back. I don't remember that. There, it just left of the glare. Let me... Y'all can see that. I see it. I saw it when I swiveled right there. Can y'all see it right above the Bulls, below the narrative? Y'all got to look hard, but still, it's pretty harsh, man. That's pretty damn harsh. Ugh. Another Chicago Bulls team card here, number 139, came back a 9. You guys have seen this one. Nothing too sexy there. The miniatures, I just can't get a 10 on this, man. There's just not a lot of 10s out there. This is actually a perforated card where you can kind of open it up like a pop-up kids book, and it, is in the shape of the championship trophy. It's actually a really good looking card in my opinion. There's a zillion of these out there, but there's just not a lot of 10s. But it gives you even instructions on how to kind of pop it open. Pretty cool. What did I get? An 8. And then these last 2 I saved for last because you guys have watched these grade reveal videos. This is the first time I've received cards back damaged, okay? Damaged. This one is cracked. Look up here. That cracked, and this is not the worst, but I'm showing you this one first. So this is the 98 Fleer Sports Collectors Digest, like magazine cover card, number 23. It came back cracked. I don't know what the deal is, but I think it did. And then another one, and luckily it was just 2 cards that weren't very valuable. Look at this, completely cracked all the way through. They packed them the same way as they always pack them, and this is, we're now, 1,400, 1,500 cards I've sent to PSA just from the cross-country collection. And this Upper Deck Draw Your Eye, I got it graded because it looked like a 10 to me, but it was such an ugly card. I feel bad making fun of a little kid trying to do his best, but I just thought, well, there's not very many of these that have been graded, and there's not very many 10s, and this one looked absolutely perfect to me, but I was wrong. I see a little crusty, crispy curling on the corners, but came back an 8, but it's cracked anyway, so if it was worth 8, now it's worth 5. That's it, guys. Not too bad on the 10s. I mean, nothing, oops, I put that in the wrong stack. Here's your 10s, Collector's Choice, Steals Leader, Collector's Choice, Upper Deck MVP. This one's the one. These 2 right here, probably the ones that matter the most, to me, because they're basically just quality base cards, base and base, but quality base cards, not like your Collector's Choice and your Upper Decks. Another Collector's Choice, and then these 2 little guys actually have some pretty decent value for those set collectors out there who may need these in PSA 10. These can fetch a pretty decent number. So stay tuned. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. Let's look at it. Let's see what they're worth. Let's see what I'm keeping. Let's see what the whole submission order is worth and see whether or not it cash flowed. Obviously, I don't have to tell you guys, this is a pretty low-end submission of 50 cards, other than the Atomic Refractor, which is actually in the high risers, which I was really happy with. Both those guys getting 8s. I'm just happy they got graded, for God's sakes. So let's see what the nerdy math spreadsheet shows us. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Here we go. All right, you guys saw it. 50 cards, 50 grades. Not too bad, if I don't mind saying so my damn self. Pretty good result. I would consider it hitting maybe a double, maybe even a triple, because here's your numbers. 10 PSA 10s out of 48 cards, 50 cards, but 2 of them didn't get graded. 10 out of 50 is 20%, even down here in the Deep South where nobody can do math. PSA 9s, 25 of those. PSA 9s and 10s combined, 70% of the order. I'll take it. PSA 9s on these low-end cards don't really move the needle a lot, but you get your money back and then maybe a couple of bucks, maybe, depending on the card. But the PSA 10s do just fine. Collector's Choice, Stadium Clubs, Upper Decks, Tops, even the base stuff does pretty well. And you guys saw in the grade reveal video, 2 decent-looking base cards in here. The Bowman's Best and then the... what did I go? Oh, the finest Sterling base, number 50 as well. So here's your deal. 10 10s, 25 9s, 9 8s, and then 4 7 or below. And a couple of those, I just missed creases and missed indentions and problems, apparently. And as you saw, I discovered a couple of them. I'm moving through these things so quick, sometimes I don't pay attention to stuff that I should. So everything in green is for sale. Everything in red, I'm either cracking and resubbing, or didn't get graded, or I'm considering cracking and resubbing. Everything in yellow I need to keep, and by your count, that is correct. There are 2 cards on here that I'm going to keep because I don't own them. Everything else, I've already got it. So the Collector's Choice number 45 in a PSA 10 is a $65 card. Woohoo, home run. And then the Bowman's Best, the gold Bowman's Best base card with the yellow on the left, a lot of chromium yellow on the surface of the card. It looks really good in a PSA 10. It's about a $150 card, somewhere in the 140 to 160 range. So I'll keep those 2 cards. Everything else is for sale, guys, even the 10s, because I already have them. The 1992 Upper Deck Team MVPs, that surprised me. I guess a lot of people don't grade that card because it's Jordan in a t-shirt, holding a trophy with some sunglasses on. But I saw 175 value for that card. That's a pretty big number. The rest of the cards, let's see what else matters. The SPX Finite, the one that was numbered to 10,000, believe it or not, in a PSA 9, that's kind of a big card. The SPX Finite in a PSA 4, I'm guessing somebody will give me 15 bucks for it. That's a loss. What else is big? The High Risers, around $300 card in a PSA 8. I guess we can probably look that up. Let's look that up together. I don't do this enough on these videos. I'm going to take a little detour here. We're going to type in High Risers Jordan PSA 8. We're going to pull it up and we're going to check it out. And we're just going to put me to the test. I tell you what, the last one sold for $300. This is a card that looks to be trending upward. Not to make this a High Risers video, but damn, over the last 3 months, how many times has it sold? That's not enough. Over the last 6 months, you got 10 sample size. It's up 100%. Card was 150 bucks in October, and here we are in March, and it's sold 282, 255, 208, and 300. So it seems to be trending upward. We know the PSA 10s are a bitch. Gosh, I gotta stop cussing. I am sorry about that. I have got to get better at that. 3,359 for a PSA 10. That's a pop 13. Not very many of those out there. So that's your High Risers. 300 bucks. Maybe it's more like 250 I could count on in a PSA 8. Although recently on the PWCC weekly auctions, my PSA 8s and 9s have been crushing it. Setting records, breaking records, nutso stuff. All of those Ionics Area 23s, about $40, $45, $50 cards in PSA 9, maybe 50 bucks in a PSA new label, who knows. Of course, they didn't grade the chintzy little Encore, and they didn't grade the that pull-out card, that 25K pull-out card that I showed you with the rounded corners, a little thicker card. Both of the Fleer All-Stars in PSA 8 came back 55, and I alluded to this because I wanted to show you. I think it's 92 Fleer All-Star Jordan PSA 10. Is that right? Is that going to pull up? That's not going to pull up. What about that? Wasn't it Fleer? What if we go here? I want to show you guys 1992 Fleer All-Star Jordan PSA 10. Is it going to work? Is this going to work? There you go. $14,000. Was I lying? Remember the card that I showed you guys where I got an 8? Well, here's what a 10 sells for. $14,000. Holy crap. It is a Pop 11 with a 0.97%, a minuscule paltry 0.97% gem rate. Holy crap. Look at the disparity. I need to do a video one day on the disparity between a 10 and a 9. You think the 86 Fleer disparity is big? It's like a 10-to-1 ratio. This is over 40 to 1. It's over 40 to 1 from a 9 to a 10. 328 to 13,980 or 14,000 bucks. Holy moly. And of course, we estimated, what's my PSA 8 worth? Yeah, there you go. 40 bucks. Pop 536. It's about a $50 card. So that's what I've got on the sheet. What do I have on the sheet? 55 bucks. Yeah, there you go. The Showstopper's in an 8. Even an 8 has a $75 value. The Bowman's Best base card, I put it 150. That's a keeper for me. The Class Axe Atomic Refractor is a $350 card in a PSA 8. Not a tough atomic to track down for Jordan. Probably the easiest atomic to track down for Jordan if I had to recall off the top of my head. Nothing else in here really stands out. Even the collector's choices that hit 10s and the tops that hit 10s, the steals leader right here, you're only talking about a $70 card. So not a tremendous amount of value in here. You know, I'm kissing my sister. I don't have a sister, and I would not do that, but that's just a phrase we use. So you're kissing your sister. You're breaking even. It's a what and what. It's a flip-flop. It's a this or that. It's 6, 1/2 dozen the other. Whatever colloquialism you want to use. You know, 7, 8, 9, 10 over and over on collector's choice tops and upper decks. Not going to really move the needle. You're not going to be retiring and buying that island that we don't like to talk about anymore. 2 more collector's choice. Both of these got PSA 10s. Both of them are about $60, $70 cards. The cover story, I just missed it. How about this? Those SP Authentic Michael Jordan cards, the 10s, I've got them on here as $400. Let me show you. I just want to make sure I'm not crazy. 1998 SP Authentic M2. Okay, here we go. 1998 SP Authentic Michael Jordan M2 PSA 10. Let's go M1. Let's get some that sold recently. Is that possible? There's one in 2022 that sold for $900. What about M4? $330. M5, $650 with a 522 behind it. M6. And you see what I'm saying? A $1,500 card. M7. It just depends on who needs it for a set. $300, $400. I didn't know what to put in here, so I put $400 for both of those. Am I crazy? Even the PSA 9, I got $100 on here because it looks like people are trying to collect that set. They are good-looking cards. I don't care about the set, but there are Jordan collectors out there who need it, who are chasing the set registry, and they pay buku. The miniatures, $20. If I'd have gotten a 10, it would have been worth quite a bit. The gold script, even in a PSA 7, is a $150 card. Remember, that was serial numbered to only 100, and so that's where it starts to mean something. I got the 90C for $15, and then that finest is a $300 card in a PSA 10. 1996 finest number 50. Let's make sure I'm not crazy. 1996 finest 50 Jordan PSA 10. Let's put minus refractor so we don't pull the refractor. Boom, there you go. 310, 312, 250. What is the pop on those cards? God, that's a good looking card, y'all. 122, so a 19% gem rate. A little higher than I suspected, but that's the card I was referencing right there. So when you add it all up, here's your number, 3,980. That's 4 times almost approximately my grading fee. Let's pay taxes. Let's pay shipping. Let's pay PWCC auction house fees. Let's just build in a discount. I'm still 3 for 1, so pretty good turnaround on that when you get 20% 10s and 50% PSA 9s. So you're 70% above the needle. That's considered, in my opinion, a win. And so that's why it cash flowed so well. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. We are winding down. This was actually my PSA order number 28. And I have, I can just tell you, I have finally gone through the very last box of the cross-country collection, sad face emoji, so I am done. But I am about to pick up another little small raw collection for a few $1,000 that I think is going to be fun. I'm going to do something similar. I don't know if it's going to have a big fancy name because it's a smaller collection, but it's from a local collector here over in Mississippi. I think we're going to hook up this weekend, and I'll hand him a few $1,000 cash. He'll hand me some raw cards, and it will probably break even, but it's going to make for great content because you guys love raw grade flip stuff. Everybody does. Who doesn't? How could you not watch it? It's must-see TV. But this was PSA order number 28. I have sent 33 total, and that's it. The last order was actually only 38 cards. Every other one before that was 50, except for a couple of exceptions. And so only have 38 relevant cards to send. And I've even gone through all of the raw Jordans again, and there are thousands, I'm not exaggerating, thousands of Jordans, and I went through all those raw ones again. I didn't inspect them. I had to trust my instincts the first time around and the research that I did, so I didn't re-inspect the condition of those cards, but I did pull out some raw cards that I'm thinking maybe I will do a sale on the channel. So keep in mind, the raw cards I'm showing are cards that I did not decide to grade. So everybody needs to keep that in perspective. These are not 10s. I'm just telling you these are not 10s, but I pulled out the meaningful raw cards, the hardwood leaders, on the low end, a scoring kings on the high end that was not in a condition that I felt it was worthy of grading. But if you're a raw Jordan collector or you're looking to build your Jordan raw collection, stay tuned. I'm probably going to do a video at some point in the very near future with some decent Jordan raw cards. Some of these cards appear in the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan hierarchy. I just didn't think they were grade worthy, so I didn't grade them. And so we'll do a little sale, a YouTube sale on the Cajun Cardboard channel in the near future. But I am done with the cross country collection. Again, remember, I am recording this, but there are still probably 40 videos that you haven't seen yet. So you've got a lot more meat left on it. And I'm not sure when this is going to release, but at the end of all of this, I'm going to pull all of these grade reveal videos together. I'm going to compile all of the data from the spreadsheets, and we're going to look at what percentage graded what grade, which cards from this era graded this, and I'm going to hopefully present some pretty decent data with about a 1,500 card sample size, and so you guys can sort of see how I did overall, top to bottom. What was my overall PSA 10 gem rate, right? That's kind of fun stuff to look at. 9s, 8s, 7s. What was the biggest card that I graded? What was the smallest, not the smallest, but what was the 10 biggest cards that I graded, and how did I do and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have a really cool culmination into the collection video for you guys, and it's not gonna be so hyper focused on dollar values and money in, money out. I'm gonna kind of keep that close to the vest. That's really between me and the seller. But we will talk about some individual cards that did well and cards that surprised me, and then the overall results. So thank you guys as always for watching. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.